Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me on my fishing channel. I'm Matt. I'm excited to get out there today. We're in northeast Kansas at Carbondale City Lake. It's the first week of May, so those crappies should be running. We're gonna find out. Give me a few minutes to get this kayak unloaded and get all rigged up, and I'll see you on the water here shortly. Thanks for joining me, and remember to like and subscribe. Yeah, I've seen a few, but got a bait in front of them, but they didn't seem to like it, I guess.
You seeing them schooled up at all?
Yeah, it looks like they're pretty schooled up.
How deep?
Anywhere from probably 8 to 12 feet of water, but they'll hang out about 4 to 6 feet deep.
Gotcha. Do you have water temperature on there?
70 point.
Jesus, they're already spawned then.
That's what I was. I mean, maybe.
They go at 60.
They always say, yeah, that 60 to 63 is kind of like that magic number. So yeah, when I dropped in and it said 70, I was like almost 71. I'm like, whoa.
What do you think they're being post-spawn feeding frenzy? Maybe a walleye bite, man. Yeah, I very rarely fish lakes with my kayak. It's my buddy's birthday, so I'm using them out here. I'd rather do streams.
I stick to the smaller bodies of water, yeah. I mean, I just ran over a pile of them. About 10 foot of water just stacked from about 4 foot all the way to the bottom.
It's 20 feet deep there?
No, 10 foot deep.
I gotcha.
Little one. Come here.
That's just white?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I got a black and chartreuse jig on.
Like most guys, I got about every color you could want.
I do too.
There's only about 3 or 4 I usually go to, right?
Yep, there's some good ones that I start out with, and then, like these little twister tails, they kill everything, man. I mean, walleye, wipers, whites, crappie, whatever. I'll go back to my regular setup here in just a second with my bobber.
I met a really nice couple down at Lake of the Ozarks a handful of years ago that started pouring their own plastics.
Is that right?
Yeah, they go by, in fact, I got the sticker on the front of my boat. They go by Old Blue Tackle.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I met them at kind of like a 4th of July craft fair, where everybody sets up their booth.
Yep.
And of course, the wife's looking at all the artwork and all that jazz. And I'm like, oh, hey, crappie. Crappie plastic. So I bought one of their little kits. Catch and release really quick. Went back to our dock and caught a 17.5-inch crappie, and I was sold. And it's,
look at that. He engulfed that thing. 3-inch freaking bait, and this thing ate it.
And
I love the homemade baits, man. There's this company out of Lawrence. I can't think of their name right now, but I buy their plastics because they have the soft styles.
mm-hmm.
God, I love those things.
But But yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there, but I've been using theirs for a while and I love them.
Yep. My buddy was just at some craft show the other day. He said that he picked me up a hand-painted walleye minnow. Pretty neat. Little wrap. It looks like a Rapala. He got some flicker shads there too that were pretty cool. I'm gonna approach. Let me get back.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm not one of those. Some guys can get pretty heated about it, but especially on kayak. I mean, it's kind of like, it's not like you got spot lock, right?
Yeah.
It's like you kind of float around. There's plenty of water, plenty of fish. Yeah, right. Man, right there, 4 to 10 foot, big pile of them.
I thought about getting the fish finder for this thing, man. It'd be nice, but like I said, I'm in the creeks all the time, so like the transducer would just get jacked up.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, this one is on a rail. I can take it on and off.
Yep.
But also, it's like kind of a pain, so I gotta take it on and off, and every once in a while it'll be all hay-wacky and I don't understand what's going on, and I'll look down, apparently I must have brushed up against something and it kicks back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, we definitely don't have any more standing room over there, Lamont.
No, man, and that oh
Yours
shit.
looks like it's full.
I just cast right over the back of you. I am so sorry.
It's all right. Can you get it, or?
I think so. Yep.
Okay.
The spill's full of carp, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's big carp in there. There's a little crappie over here in this cove.
I saw you guys each catch one, but yeah, it kind of looks little.
He said the water temperature is 71.
There's carp up there in the shallow too, you think, right at the edge?
I don't know how deep I was. I was running without I was just using one of them tangerine creams.
Yeah.
And just running the tail by itself without a bobber. I don't know how deep I was when I caught that, but he said they're anywhere from 4 to
8 or 10 probably.
Deep.
Yeah, they're kind of spread out, scattered. It seems like they have been for a while. Everybody that I see catching them, like posting on Facebook, it's one day it's 4 feet, next day it's 10 feet.
Yeah.
Got slip bobber stuff, man. You use that. I could even go to smaller oranges. Not go smaller. I know these slab buster tails don't work here worth a fuck, but at the golf course they do. Does this bank drop off pretty quick here at the dam?
Not really. It's fairly flat, actually.
Really?
Now we get close, yeah.
Gotcha.
Drops off pretty quick, but. everybody. Thanks for joining me. As you can see, I launched and 3 or 4 other nice kayaker guys all showed up, so we kind of fished together for a little bit. There was a pile of fish along that dam all schooled up together. After a while, I just decided to let them have it. Figured I'd kind of work my way around the edges here. It looks like a kind of stays a little shallower and then drops off. See if I can't pick up a few. Again, maybe I'll find a pile on some structure or something that I can kind of hone in on. But we'll just keep throwing old blue plastics and see what we can pick up. The water temperature is actually surprisingly warm. It's almost 71 degrees. The old kind of rule of thumb is crappie in particular like to spawn around that 63 degree temp. And so this water warmed up really fast. It is so shallow, 3.5 feet where I'm sitting. Also, there's a lot of this, I guess, moss floating in the water. The water's really stained, so that changed baits a few times, going to a little darker color. There's a little fish. Not a bad crappie. Still not very big. They're not hitting hard. Hey now, you're gonna get stuck under my seat. Well, that was convenient. Get right over. Come on now. Another little one. This lake has a lot of crappie in it. The wildlife and parks sample the lakes, I think, yearly. This lake had one of the densest populations of crappie. It also has no limit and no length limit. That usually tells you there's a lot of fish, because they actually want you to take a bunch of them out. Alright, you probably can't see, but what I'm going to do is, there's a rocky shoreline right over there. It gets deep fairly quickly. This is like really flat. I think I need a little deeper water, so I'm going to cut across the lake. We'll try over there. I'm going to save a little battery and a little card memory, so we'll see you on the other side of the lake. Reminds me. Got them for a reason. Alright, now I look the part. Now I'm a pro. Ah, the gloves were the trick. is not a big one at all, but it might be the biggest one we've caught so far. I don't know, still pretty short. That's two. One of the reasons I came out here today is I fished this lake last year for the first time. And really, it's just a beautiful lake. It's kind of tucked in here out of the wind. Not much wind today anyway, but it's got big mature trees all the way around it. Little rocky shoreline. It's just a pretty lake. Ooh, I saw a little fish chasing it. Ooh. You probably didn't see that on camera. That was the big old carp. Came flying out of the water. There's a wildlife and parks feeder right behind me, so I'm sure they're just hanging out waiting for that feeder to go off. Using a little jig and plastic, it's pretty unlikely one of them would jump on it, but holy crap, that would be a fight. That one I just saw was probably bigger around than a football. I don't know how many pounds that would be. Between 10 and 20, I'm sure. It's probably pretty shallow up there. There we go. Again, nothing big. That's probably the third, maybe fourth I've kind of caught up that rocky point. I don't really want to go over it with my locator because I mean, it's only 4 foot deep right here. So if they're in there shallow. No, he's fat, but pretty short. Now that might be a black crappie. They got black spots. I think they're generally in a line. I believe that means black crappie. The white crappie males will also darken during the spawn, so they're sometimes hard to tell. Yeah, right in front of that rocks right there. Seems to be a good spot. Another little. Another one. All littles, a lot of littles. Wow, that is tiny, and he scuffed it. Tiny. Okay. So right in front, you heard me talk about it earlier, right in front of those branches that come out and tickle the water, it goes from like 2 to 3 feet, but then there's like a swale that goes down to 6 or 8 feet. And it looks like I just finally went over the right spot, and there's just a bunch of them stacked in the bottom of it. Oh, I say a bunch, it might be 20 or 30. And then even when I'm back here, back. We'll make it 3 in a row. Ooh, this is a little better fish. A little better. Still not huge. There's 3. We do 4. Whoa! Come back here. Okay, that was really far. Grab another pole, and it had a little bigger bait on it. You can see this is one of my favorite colors, sandy minnow. But Tim makes this bait. It's awesome. It's pretty big. These guys are kind of short biting it, and they're not hitting it very hard. So I've lost a couple fish. I think it's because they're kind of hitting the back end of it and not getting hooked up. So I'm gonna go with the same color because I have a lot of them. I'm just gonna get a little smaller plastic. See if that won't kind of help with those little short, soft bites that we've got going on right now. So here's the little, I believe he calls it the squid. A little smaller. Same color, sandy minnow. It's my personal favorite. Kind of my go-to. First one I always try out of the box. Right behind that would be monkey milk, which is kind of this white black fleck in it. I've got it in 2 or 3 shapes and sizes. Fish. Get up here. There we go. Not as big as that 11 and a halfer, but has a baby. Big one in there somewhere. I don't know. That was a little bump, but I was going towards him. I couldn't see the truck. Hey now, let go. Now that might actually be a little better fish. There we go. That's a little better fish. There we go. It's a nice crappie. Actually, the board's kind of gross. 11 3/4. No, 11. I mean 11 and a half. It's a little bigger than 11 and a half. So there's the first really nice crappie. Good. I don't know. 15 anyway. Probably caught more than that. Selfie, I think. Nice fish. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks again for joining me today. As you can see, I'm filming the outro of this video from my garage. Let me preface it by saying anyone who makes content and gets it out on YouTube and all that jazz, I commend you guys. This is probably my 4th or 5th trip out with the kayak, doing some fishing, taking some video, thinking it would be, episode 1 on my channel, only to get back to the house and learn that I still have a lot to learn. Again, for the last year or so, I've been trying to learn how to use the GoPro, get the right settings, where to mount it, what angle. Once I kind of figured that out, got some content made, how to get that content off the camera, and editing with a software of some kind. Took me some while to figure that out. So yeah, I'm still learning at this. It's been a long road. Even this video that I'm hoping will be episode 1, it's something. Again, of the channels I subscribe and the YouTubes I watched, these really nice, polished videos, I'm impressed. So again, any of those creators out there that's doing this and making quality content, I commend you guys. This has been significantly more difficult than I thought it would be. While I'm a little older, I grew up in the computer generation, so technology isn't foreign to me, but it's quite the learning curve. It really is. So yeah, again, just shout out to all those creators out there. I'm very impressed. So hopefully, again, this will end up being the conclusion of my first video on my channel. Like I said, it's been a few weeks since I went out to Carbondale City Lake, got home, downloaded, started working on the video. I was missing half a day's worth of footage. I don't know what happened to it. I thought I did everything right. I didn't run out of memory. I didn't run out of battery. Something didn't work. It's really unfortunate because I don't have the like I said, the last bit of my trip out there. What eventually did happen is, if you recall, I pedaled across the lake to the other side, caught a few fish, eventually found what looked like maybe was an old creek bed that had come into the lake, and it was relatively flat, and then it dipped down and back up again like a creek channel, submerged, and there was kind of a stump or some brush in the bottom of that. And I was slamming them right there. So what I eventually did is actually grab my anchor, went upwind, anchored, drifted back to right in front of that spot, and just sat there for the next 45 minutes to an hour and just caught a crap load of them. Unfortunately, I don't think I caught anything worth keeping. That lake in particular doesn't have a length limit or a creel limit, like I mentioned. Rule of thumb around Kansas, though, is most people keep a 9 or 10 inch crappie. I would have been hard pressed to have 5 of them over 10 inches. maybe one or two. The 11.5 that I caught was by the biggest of the day, and I do think I caught that on camera between a couple clips. But otherwise had a great time. Eventually petted back and loaded up and got out of Dodge. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I actually have another set of clips already recorded from a trip out to Clinton Lake. I'm hoping that will be episode 2. Not as a successful day, but I did catch a few. I'm excited about this channel and the content I can put on there. I hope you enjoy it as well. Again, they always say like and subscribe. I think that's a thing, and I appreciate it. In the meantime, hope everybody has a great day. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you next time.